Hi everyone, good morning. This is Daniel. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is originally created for Friday the 20th of January, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it makes sense to your situation, by all means utilize the reading. If it doesn't make sense, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. It doesn't mean that, anything needs to be changed or fixed. You just might be working on something different at this time. Please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily readings. In there is information about the channel, things I want you to think about, what decks I'm using during the reading, how to follow me on social media, or ask me for a private reading through my Facebook business page or Instagram account. Know that I will never solicit you for a reading, so be aware of that. Also, easy ways to support the channel. Great way to do that is to hit the thumbs up button, leave me a question or comment, subscribe to the channel, or share the video out. All of those are greatly appreciated. So let's get into this. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video if you want to check that out. So if I'm mentioning cards you don't see here, by all means, check that out. And let's see what's going on here. Interesting. So I have the Seven of Swords. Somebody's being rather sly. Seven of Swords is oftentimes, Swords is like the mind, air element, how we communicate, what we communicate, or when we communicate, or when others communicate with us. And oftentimes the Seven of Swords is indicative of somebody not telling us the truth, or maybe not telling us the whole story. There's a couple of different things that I get off of this. For those of you that this is an outside source, where it's like somebody's not giving us a full perspective on what's really going on, they are somewhat outright lying to us. I mean, they have their fingers crossed here, if you look at that. I also get this vibe from this card that if it's not that for you, it could be that we're holding our swords close to the vest or to the chest, right? Like, we might not be saying everything we need to say right now. We might be not necessarily lying, but, like lie by omission, in a way, like where we don't necessarily put forth all of our truth. Swords usually represent truth and clarity, cutting to the core of an issue. This is a card of not being able to do that. Whether we're being blocked by someone who won't give us that information or is withholding it, or telling us something completely false, or it's us kind of, and this is not a traditional Seven of Swords meaning, but for some reason I do get this vibe of this is somebody holding back their thoughts, holding back their communication. And part of the reason why I say that is the fox is a very cunning animal, right? He's associated with the idea of cunning, a little bit of stealth. And he's reminding me a little bit, because of his red coat too, of the Queen of Wands we saw yesterday, where she was in yesterday's reading, she was very much future focused and kind of looking to the future. And so she to me always is, like I said in yesterday's reading, looking to know what the rules are so that at some point she can break them, right? Or manipulate them, bend the rules to her will. And I feel like this fox is kind of like her spirit animal, right? Kind of creeping through, hunting, looking for the answers, but not necessarily maybe being so forthright as to what answers we're looking for, or that we're even seeking them. Does that make sense? There could be a little stealth or secrecy in our actions today. I do get this feeling of withdrawing or going inward, and that's not necessarily a Seven of Swords meaning either, but for some of you, if you are confused by a situation or seeking clarity, you may need to do so by pulling back, gathering up your swords and maybe putting them away or hiding in a way. This could be even a cutoff of communication is sort of the vibe that I'm getting, but we're doing this for a bigger picture view. That's the foxes up on the shoulder there. To me, it's like we're trying to get it feels like a slyer awareness of the totality of a situation, and we are holding our thoughts or our words, our communication away from the situation right now. We may have cut off communication from someone because maybe they are a liar, or they haven't been telling us the full truth, or what we need to hear in a way. Um, Again, though, the traditional meaning of this, and some of you could be dealing with somebody who's outright not giving you the full story, whether it's through omission or through actual blatant lies. Somebody could be potentially trying to pull the wool over our eyes. This could also be somebody's withdrawing from us. That whole withdrawal and feeling that I'm getting from this card. Somebody could be pulled away from us, withholding the information that we seek. Let's look at the other cards and see how this plays out, because this to me feels like it could go both ways. I don't get a bad feeling about this, though. I feel like even if it's somebody that's not telling us the full story, we know the story, right? We know. It's like, if we're seeking validation or understanding for a situation from this outside source and they're not giving it to us, there's this part of me that feels like we're well aware. Like, I don't feel like this is a harmful card. I feel more like, if anything, it's just a card of awareness, where we come further into awareness of, this person is not telling me what I need to know, or is not offering up the correct information. There's also an aspect of the Seven of Swords that, although he's listed as like liar, cheater, stealer, right? Just to sum him up simply, sometimes the Seven of Swords can be about people who, a couple of things, are in so much fear that they can't meet us in truth, right? And there's this idea that, yes, that makes them a liar, but there's also this level of just inability, and so they're limited at that. They can't. The other aspect to this is that sometimes people can lie to us and not know that they're lying. In a sense, they believe their own story, they believe their own truth, they believe their perspective more so, even if it's not correct or accurate or wholly complete. It could be extremely egoic based. And so they're only seeing it from their perspective, their side of things, and trying to use that to their advantage through manipulation or gaslighting or whatever. So, and they're not even aware that that's what they do. That doesn't necessarily mean it's okay, but the reason why I say that is to factor that in allows us to sort of release that person and understand that this person is limited in what they can communicate or can understand. And it's not about us as much as it's more about them, right? So if any of this makes sense to you in any situation, by all means utilize it. I do get this feeling of out of this, whether it's us withdrawing or somebody withdrawing from us information from us, or not giving us the correct information, I feel like we become stronger or more aware and see the situation more clearly for what it is ultimately in the end. And that actually serves us. That's a good thing in the long run. All right, let's go to the Absolute Affirmations card. This is setbacks propel me forward. We've seen this before. It says, maintain a positive attitude and keep going. Make your biggest setback your greatest comeback. Think of yourself as a slingshot. The further you're pushed or pulled will generate more energy to surpass your previous position in life. So this says to me, in a way, we can defend ourselves with this slingshot against whatever this could potentially be for us. And I'll just show you the other absolute affirmation. We have never seen this before. I am dope. Which I like that. Like, believe in ourselves, essentially. Which we saw yesterday in the Six of Wands. And we also saw a setback card in yesterday's clarifiers, which is the Five of Pentacles. So this setbacks propel me forward whatever we're looking at today, however negative it may be, or if it's somebody that's, not telling us the truth or lying, or we're finding we even have to pull away and not tell our truth right now, not share our truth, we're not ready to, we don't want to, there's a reason for it. These things will propel us forward ultimately in the end. They bring us sort of this sense of awareness or clarity, I think, ultimately, that serves us. That those foxes on that shoulder say to me that it feels to me like we're getting some sort of sly awareness out of whatever this situation is. And that awareness educates us to make smarter decisions or communicate better, or to pull the slingshot back further and propel ourselves forward ultimately when the time is right. Does that make sense? And so, and with the slingshot, I don't think we are defenseless. I don't think that we're not. I think that we're somewhat protected to a degree, as much as we choose to be in the situation. That protection could come from us withdrawing completely and pulling our swords behind our back, so to speak. Those crossed fingers, though, make me feel like somebody's not telling the whole truth. But we're aware of it. We can sense it or we can see it. And so we allow them to make those choices, and then we go, that pulls the slingshot even further back for us to move forward, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go to the clarifiers. Oh, we have the devil. Okay. Capricorn energy. Hey, Capricorns. All right, for some of you, somebody is straight up fucking lying. I'm just going to be honest. Sorry about my language. And I'm going to say this. It hurts. The devil's always about obsession. Always about where our weakest points are at. It wants to show us where we are vulnerable. Where we might be too subservient to a situation. Too stuck in a pattern, a belief, a thought, an outcome that we can't let go of. And so the devil wants us trapped in that, like believing that, oh no, if I just change, I can make this work, or if this happens, then this could be better, or my life will be better if I have this. And that can become obsessive, and that's where the obsession and the sort of chained aspect of the devil comes in. And so for some of us, we might be dealing with a situation that's also, I get this feeling with the devil being present long term, that we've spent a lot of maybe time, energy, and effort in. And it's hard to want to let that go, or to acknowledge that this is no longer healthy. This is no longer good for me. And the reason why I say that is because the last two readings and the weekly reading from Sunday are so about being empowered that I feel like today's reading, even with that slingshot, there's a bit of a war feeling to this. There's a bit of a clash feeling to this reading. This reading feels, we'll have to look at the other two clarifiers, but this reading feels a bit volatile, if I'm being honest. And that volatility is showing us something that we need to see so that we can propel ourselves forward, so that we can move beyond this obsession or this outcome, this desired outcome, or this plan that maybe we had or that we became attached to with this person or with this situation that is not really serving us. It's been maybe a lie, or in the lie, a lie is such a negative thing, but the lie can be a fantasy that we were telling ourselves, an outcome that we've been fixated on that is not coming. And so we have to look at that and understand that although it may be a setback, it might feel like some work involved to disassociate ourselves from the outcome or the dream or whatever we had in our mind. We have to acknowledge that it's not real to a degree. Let's go. Hi, Bunga. Three of Swords. Yeah. Let's just go to the other clarifier just because I want to end the Two of Cups. Okay. Three of Swords would be heartache. It can also be betrayal, similar to the Seven of Swords. And the Two of Cups is probably the most romantic card in the deck. And to me, I was saying this yesterday and throughout a couple of readings this week, there's this essence of divine feminine that shows up in like one of the cards that she feels like she's weaving into these readings this week. It was very highly masculinized energy in the Sunday reading underpinning all of this. Masculines are about taking action, making decisions, moving forward, fighting even, or defending. And I feel a lot of masculine energy in this reading, right? With the slingshot, what little boys play with, slingshots and fireworks, or that sort of thing. The Seven of Swords is oftentimes always a man running off with the swords, and that is definitely a man in that card. The Devil, indicating more masculine Capricornian energy. And even the Three of Swords, the heart there to me is more feminine, but the swords itself and the experience is more of a masculine level of pain. It's a depth of pain, sadness, even regret, heartache that to me I associate more with kind of masculine energy and what they face daily, or like the burden that they can carry. I think that what I was just saying with the Devil in regards to the time, energy, attention, whatever it is that we're sort of stuck on and can't let go of, or don't feel like we want to, or we're not ready. The Three of Swords indicates that there has been a lot of energy, effort, love put into whatever this is, and it's just not turned out to what we thought it was going to be. And because of that, it's brought heartache, it's brought sadness, it's brought pain. The interesting thing that the divine feminine aspect of this to me is the Two of Cups. And to me, I almost feel like this card is about forgiveness, compassion. And this can be compassion for ourselves within the situation, because I feel like there's a truth here in these cards. There's a truth around pain. Obviously with the Seven of Swords, there's a large lie, right? There's a large clouded vision, or however this is manifesting for you. The truth in this, there's a couple of different truths I see. The truth in the pain of the Three of Swords, the truth in the obsession of the Devil. That, this is making me sad, that those things do set us back. But those setbacks, if we don't avoid them and if we face them with compassion, i.e. the Two of Cups, we can release the slingshot and propel forward and shoot further and farther away. And so if this pain or this obsession or these lies or whatever we're facing that's not turning out the way that we wanted it to, because the Two of Cups would also indicate maybe the dream or the vision that we had for this originally and that we still want to hold on to. But it's like that Two of Cups has become the Devil. And that hurts. So what we do, I think, to solve this is we have to, or not even solve it, just to transform it, is we have to meet this situation and see it for what it is, truly look at it. Look at the lies. Where have we been lying to? Where have we been lying to ourselves? Feel the pain. Face the obsession. Face down our devil, whatever that may be, whoever that may be. And then really truly look at it. And that's sort of the mirroring of the two people in the Two of Cups, is we're truly looking at it, but we're looking at it from a place of healing, from a place of compassion, even if that compassion is only for ourselves at first, giving ourselves grace, harmony, meeting ourselves where we're at, so to speak, within this situation, and offering up some of that healing. If we can expand ourselves and even pull the slingshot further back and find compassion for the person, the obsession, the pain, the lie, we also are able to release them in a much more healthy way that brings about freeing ourselves from it. Some of you may be able to do that, is my feeling, and some of you might have to just struggle through the pain and the obsession. And the key here is to find that compassion for yourself. while dealing with this, the reality of this, or the settling into the truth of this. Let's go to the grounding stone. Remember, the grounding stone for this week was learn, right? So, and it was set on that rose quartz. We don't want to not lose sight of that, because that underpins all of this energy too, which is, learning this Two of Cups, learning that, facing some of these things isn't going to kill us. It will, there's an opportunity here for expansion. There's an opportunity here for love and acceptance and compassion. And we might be learning the truth around a situation today that could be hard, it could be painful, it could be challenging, very challenging with that Devil card there. But underpinning this, we want to stay in that heart chakra, and we want to stay centered in that as much as we can, even if it's only for ourselves. Most importantly, if it's only for ourselves, right? So the grounding stone is family. And what I think is interesting about this is I get two reads off of this stone. One is, while we're going through this challenge of pain, obsession, or whatever, there might be family or friends, people that we consider to be our soul tribe, our connections that we can rely upon today to maybe talk this through, work this out, sort this out. And that can also be the union of the Two of Cups, right? Like seeking that out within our relationships. The other thing about this family card is it feels to me that whoever this person is, or whatever this situation was, they were quite possibly very dear and important to us. And I feel like if we ground in that feeling of family or connectedness to them, even while we're working through releasing the obsession, getting over the pain, and releasing ourselves from the situation in compassion, we can still hold on. I don't want to say we can still hold on to the connection, because I don't want people to think that, but I think that we still have to honor and acknowledge that at one point in time, whatever this was, it was good. It was like family. It felt like maybe home. And it's maybe transformed at this point. But that doesn't negate what it once was, or what it brought to us in, say, maybe the beginning or the early stages. So what I'm saying here is I want you to ground in the understanding that the connection at one point in time was real, and it was good, and it wasn't about obsession or pain. And in honoring that aspect of it, that opens us up to the compassion in the Two of Cups to let us know that, like, no, we weren't an idiot for trusting this person, or no, we weren't, we can honor ourselves, at least, at the very least, and most importantly, honor ourselves within this situation to transform it. And potentially even, find compassion and transformation for the situation or person itself by releasing them from a place of love rather than from anger, hatred, sadness, all of that stuff that kind of can, build karma. And then we have to do this all over again in a different lifetime with them, which we don't want. And we'll learn this today. Remember, learning is underpinning this. The other thing underneath this that I should say is the Hierophant. Hierophant is, spiritual wisdom, also like institutions and things like that. And the Hierophant can represent marriage. This could have been a very important relationship to whomever this reading is for. But there's a strength with the Hierophant, right? There's a spiritual strength and awareness that comes from him. So he underpins this. And I just want to remind everybody of that before I shut the video off, because this could be a very challenging day where we don't feel like maybe we can face this, that it's too painful. But we have to remember that we can face this, that we're strong enough, we're capable enough, we're spiritually aware enough, that it's bringing about that strength. The Hierophant is a pillar card, right? He is going to strengthen us and wisen us up So understand that he underpins this, and we need to learn or maybe aspire to that higher wisdom while we're working through this scenario. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Sorry for being so dark, but I think somebody needs to see this. If you enjoyed this reading or it resonated, please leave me a comment, share the video out, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Tune in tomorrow and leave me a thumbs up. All of those things greatly, greatly help. I'm with you today. Get through this. You'll be all right, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.